Let's talk a little bit about disease in the body, and I'd like to just generally go through the body on the different parts and different patterns. The head, basically, metaphysically, represents us. This is what we see of each other. Most of us, most of the time, wear clothes, and we're pretty well covered up. However, the heads show. So this represents us, and when there is something wrong in the head, it usually means that we're feeling very bad about ourselves. You know, headaches are almost always invalidating the self, which means making yourself wrong for something. And the next time you get a headache, you might just ask yourself, how am I making myself wrong? What have I just done that I'm putting myself down for? And see if you can't forgive yourself for it and allow that loving, accepting energy to flow. I mean, even if you've made a tremendous goof, so what? Take it as a learning experience, not as an excuse to beat yourself up. Because that doesn't do any good. When you punish yourself, you don't learn anything. The ears are the capacity to hear the truth. And when there are problems with the ears, it usually means that on some level we're not happy about what we're hearing. You know, earaches are very, very common in little children. Little kids have earaches all the time. And I think it comes from two things. One, they hear a lot of stuff that they get angry about and they can't do anything about. Because little kids are often not allowed to be angry. And also they hear no so much. And they want to shut it off. And so they get earaches. Any sore, any cut, any burn, any inflammation, any fever, any itis of any sort, any bruise is anger, any cut. All these things are anger that's turned against the self. Hair, metaphysically, is strength. Now, it's interesting when you think about how hair grows. The hair grows through the hair follicle. And very often, when we get tight and tense and nervous, we have it started back here in the shoulders, we bring it up through the neck and over the top of the scalp, and very often we bring it down around the eyes too. But when the scalp is really tight and the hair can't breathe, then it falls over and dies. And if we keep that scalp really tight with tension, the new hairs can't grow through, and we get what we call baldness. Now, just for a moment, I would like everybody in the room to relax their scalp. Okay. Did your scalp move? You don't have to tell me, just know yourself. That means that you normally keep your scalp in a state of tension. And it might be a wonderful exercise for you about 10 times a day to just say, scalp, you can relax. Just let go. And begin to make a habit of relaxing your scalp. Tightening your scalp does not do anything in the world. Doesn't make you brighter or stronger. Won't get the girl or the guy. It doesn't lose anything. All it does is make tension for you. So let your scalp relax. The eyes are the capacity to see. And when there are problems with the eyes, it means that there's something we're not willing to see, or we're afraid to see, or we don't know how to see. It can be past or present or future. It can be part of our life or all of our life, or we can see life through two different ways. If you have astigmatism, it's like we see life in two different directions. I do not believe that the reason people begin to wear glasses is that they're getting older in middle age. I think that what happens is many people spend a lifetime of saying, I don't want to see that, I don't want to look at that, don't show me that, don't let me see that. And remember, the eyes, the cells in the body begin to listen to what we're saying. They hear everything. And they begin to turn the sight off. When I see a little child wearing glasses, I always know there's stuff going on in that family they don't want to look at. The mouth is the capacity to break down ideas for analysis and decisions and discrimination and taste, like you would food. Teeth problems are almost always long-standing indecision. The throat is the avenue of expression. This is where we express ourselves. This is where we say, I am, and I want, and I have, and I will. This is where our creativity flows. And it's also the area, the chakra center in our body where change takes place. When we feel we don't have a right to speak up for ourselves, we often have throat problems. And laryngitis, sore throats are just anger, and laryngitis is literally being so mad that you cannot speak. Thyroid has to do with creativity, thyroid problems. And it's not expressing ourselves. People who have thyroid problems usually do what their mothers want, or their fathers want, or their husbands, or their lovers, or their wives, or their bosses, somebody else, but not themselves. And you could say, well, you know, there's a lot of things with thyroid and goiter in the Midwest, but then where are people more bound by what the neighbors think and the shoulds of life? All right, shoulders have to do with burden bearing, carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, taking other people's problems and carrying them, and not being free to shoulder your own responsibilities. However, we can make light of them. They don't have to be heavy burdens. The experiences we have in life do not have to be heavy burdens. They can be experiences. There are certain things in life that are normal and natural to life. And it's part of our experience. Being born, growing up, having relationships, ending relationships, getting jobs, ending jobs, getting married, having babies, people dying, dying ourselves. These are normal and natural parts of life. And they're experiences that we're all meant to go through so that we have that experience.